When it involves Chloe Bailey and Beyonce, the rumors are always that she copies Beyonce. Even some are worried that whether she is going to get her own identity or not. People also say that she reminds him of Beyonce. Is it necessary to match them? What actually went down? And what did she reveal about always copying Beyonce? Chloe Bailey and her sister Halle Bailey are Beyonce's protégées, and while they hold a singular talent that caught the attention of Queen Bey, fans are uninterested in the sisters, specifically Chloe, being cast as a baby Beyonce. Chloe's first solo project, without her younger sister, Hal, was just released today, called Have Mercy. The sex-positive pop song is being received well by her fans, with some pleading to prevent the comparisons. To be fair, the music video accompanying Have Mercy does feature Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, and a few feel that the artwork for the single is analogous to Beyonce's '03 cover of Dangerously Crazy. Chloe and Halle Bailey were in their mid-teens when 5 years ago, they posted a canopy of Beyonce's Pretty Hurts on YouTube, but they showcased a poise and vocal ability beyond their years. The clip soon caught the eye of Beyonce herself, who shared it on her Facebook page, adding the caption, "So amazingly talented." After learning they were unsigned, she contacted the sisters at their range in Atlanta, Georgia, taking them under her wing and signing them to her Parkwood Entertainment label. A few years later, they needed to be uprooted from Atlanta to LA, released an award-nominated debut album, landed roles in television program Grownish that they wrote the theme song, and are currently opening for Beyonce and Jay-Z on the Road to Stadium tour. "We're having such a blast," says Chloe on the phone from NY. "Just building our craft and being really happy and making memories." It's a pretty safe bet, however, that the duo would have succeeded even without Beyonce's endorsement. The creative freedom enabled them to cultivate a singular style that blends Hal's languid, jazz-inflected vocals with Chloe's darkly twisted R&B grooves. "It's super cool how such a little person can make such hard beats," enthuses Hal. "Whenever my sister and I create, we feel as if we're vessels of a greater power," adds Chloe. "There's a sense that overcomes us. We'll just hear these sounds and melodies in our heads, and that we just lay them out and see what sticks." Of course, the thought of two young artists writing and recording on their own should not be remarkable. But within the current pop climate, it's still a rarity. Chloe and Hal's independence stems from their parents Courtney, a recruitment officer, and Doug, a former stockbroker who's now their full-time manager. It was Doug who taught the women the fundamentals of songwriting once they were 10 and 8 years old, and who encouraged them to require the lead in business meetings, making their own deals instead of counting on his input. It's almost impossible to imagine that Chloe x Hal would have come as far as they needed once they first went viral for a YouTube cover of Pretty Hurts. Since signing to Parkwood Entertainment, the middle of Beyonce's business world, in 2016, once they were 18 and 16 years old, their pop cultural reach has grown exponentially. In only 4 short years, the two young women have dropped 2 albums, several mixtapes, and EPs, soundtracked a serious movie, and joined the ensemble of a well-liked teen show. Chloe and Halle Bailey could also be best known for enjoying the twins Jazz and Sky Forrester, respectively, on the show Grownish. The Baileys have spent 3 seasons cultivating and augmenting their fan base through the show, and even sing its theme song. That newfound cultural power is clear in Ungodly Hour, their most up-to-date release and second full-length album. But quite anything. What the album shows is that the pair are groomed to become Beyonce's first true musical successors. In addition to putting out a highly anticipated album within the middle of a worldwide pandemic, the duo also chose to delay its release for 1 week in recognition of the continued global uprising against racism within the name of George Floyd. Through no fault of their own, they found themselves facing the problem of navigating a deeply politicized social climate during what would usually be a period of aggressive self-promotion. They were forced to steer a difficult tightrope, but they managed to barter it beautifully, in large part because the album itself is a declaration of their unique sound and elegance, while also making their influences clear, and their fans have noticed. Ungodly Hour may be a masterpiece of recent R&B, and it's remarkable specifically due to what proportion it manages to accomplish, where their previous effort felt far more indie and percussive, as in, say, the mournful track Happy Without Me about the regret of a love lost. This album feels rooted in experience and an authentic perspective, as in Busy Boy, a song about the invention of a wayward lover. On Ungodly Hour, the pair explores themes of friendship, infidelity, and every one thing Grownish during a way that telegraphs their maturation, but also their relative youth. Now in their early 20s, they need more freedom to explore adult themes. It's a refrain that echoes Miss Third Ward herself. During the discharge of her self-titled album, Beyonce discussed feeling constrained with reference to the topic matter of her music, because she felt a wave of obligation to her young fans. She talked at length about finally feeling able to express every side of her personality in her music, now that she was in her 30s and her fans had also aged up with her. The same is true of the Baileys. In Busy Boy, they sing a few man who gets around and reprimand him for thinking they didn't already know his secrets. That's why I do not play with you. I spend a touch time, don't remain with you. I tell you what you want to hear all the time, simply because you're so damn fine. The implied score may be a big thematic leap for the sisters, considering it wasn't goodbye ago that they were censoring profanity in their YouTube covers. The visual elements of Ungodly Hour depict a uniform shift. The contrast between the promotional short film for his or her first album is stark, but not forced. The women have gotten older and more worldly within the time since their last release, but are still relatively young. And the kids are alright. The Baileys leaned into the fragile ethereality and youth of their music, doused in glitter, and drawing literally from themes of the angelic. The music of their first album is quicker, faster, and more urgent. On Ungodly Hour, the whole enterprise slows down. The visuals are darker, more mature, and yes, more ungodly. They've graduated from glitter and wings to leather and chains, but they're still in the sky. Forget angels. They're making gods of themselves. The videos released for Ungodly Hour. Do it and forgive me. Animate sexuality with intention. That choice in itself is fraught for black women in music. Too much desirability, and that they face adultification and over-sexualization. Too little, and that they risk being desexualized all at once, like Beyonce, Chloe, and Hal have taken fierce control of their music by being intimately involved in its production, beginning with their debut. Both women co-wrote each of the songs on the album, and thus the older sister, Chloe, co-produced 10 of the album's 13 tracks. The young women have ensured that they are integral to their own musical legacy from very early in their careers. Their music seems like them because they made themselves visible in every aspect of its creation. The live shows Chloe X how they've given during the promotion of this album, notably produced under a stay-at-home order, are inventive and highly visual. Quickly adapting to performance via drone, they mimic Beyonce's creativity and whittle it right down to its most essential elements: vocals, visuals, and elegance. Where before there may have been elaborate sets and backup dancers, now there are just the sisters, their microphones, and a few artfully placed strobe lights or sky-themed backdrops. Their dexterity has allowed them to reinterpret their original promotional plans to an unprecedented global moment without losing an ounce of what makes them such a specific and unique musical act. As a result, they haven't had to hamper in the least. It isn't shocking that Chloe X Hal, or anyone for that matter, would learn and take lessons from their mentor. The music industry is difficult to traverse, and having someone experienced who can help navigate through its labyrinthian structure of politics and prejudice is invaluable. But with Ungodly Hour, Chloe X Hal has confirmed that the only way we were ever going to get another Beyonce was if she crafted one herself in, or near, her own image. Chloe X Hal does that employment for her, weaving the teachings of her career into their own and building upon a legacy she remains within the middle of creating. What do you think, she really copies Beyonce? Well, just let me know in the comment section below. With this, I'm wrapping up this video. Hopefully we enjoyed it, and if you do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss any updates. Thanks for sticking till the end. See you soon with another fun video.